Budgets in government, I've been doing this for 30-something years, is one of those things you never look forward to. Some budgets are better than others. This was one of the tougher budgets when you did not have the funds to do everything it had to do. There's some things that just needed to be done, and so this was not one I really enjoyed, but I'm glad to put it behind us. Well, there was requests, particularly for salary adjustments and things like that. Anytime you're doing reoccurring cost in a budget and you're trying to look at the economy, what's going on in your area, reoccurring costs are something that happens every year. So when you incur additional reoccurring costs, it's a little concerning. One-time costs for a piece of equipment or something like that is pretty easy. It's the reoccurring costs, and that's some of the things that we really needed to do to adjust some salaries. We need to make sure we keep our people, you know, when they can't afford to buy food, put it on their table, pay their bills, you know, that's a problem. And there's a lot of people out there that are a lot of companies that are looking for employees, and we need to keep our employees in order to provide, you know, efficient service to the community.
Property tax is increasing?
2 cents. It's going from 42 to 44.
Gotcha. And how do you think that'll affect residents, if any effect at all?
Oh, there'll be some effect. It won't be a major effect. I mean, back a few years ago, our tax rate was at 46, so we're still not up to that point. We did lower the tax rate a year ago or a couple years ago, and so we're looking at going up now. One of the impacts of that, you know, has been the exemption that we gave for homestead exemption, which was a little bit more impactful than we thought. And then the major driving issue on the budget has been the jail expansion, which is going to be finished somewhere around May, and putting that into operation. We are going to receive some revenue back for sale rentals to other counties. One of the issues with that, though, when we get the new jail, we want to be able to do some improvements to the existing jail, basically cosmetic type things, and so we're going to have to delay bringing those other prisoners in while we move and shuffle people around. Food costs has gone way up. Medical costs for inmates has gone way up. We're having to add the positions you have to have so many positions based on your population according to the Texas Jail Commission, and so we're adding those positions. And then there's a few other things, adjustments in the Sheriff's Department, a few things that they had asked for on monitoring traffic and things like that were very good to have, and so we went ahead and put those in the budget, but you know, everything costs. Reoccurring costs, on bills, everything's kind of moving up and creeping up on us, our fuel costs, things like that.
As far as raises?
Right.
Were there any raises given?
Yes, we did include a 1.5% COLA across the board. Now that didn't address some individual positions that are low based on salary surveys around us. We were able to do a few of those, but not many. And so the one thing that we're doing, though, is adding that 1.5% COLA, cost of living raise. It really needs to be 3 or 4%. And we just couldn't afford it and justify the increase. One of the things that we did do that hasn't been mentioned, we've added several $100,000 to the Road and Bridge Department for hard top roads to allow us to do more road improvements. You know, I mean, one of the biggest complaints that we get and one of the biggest needs are the county roads. And I get it, I understand it, so, you know, we're trying to make headway. We hope to do 40 miles this year. We're up to about 13, 14 miles right now. And if the rain will hold off, we'll be able to hopefully meet our goal.
You know, we talk about it all the time, the unit road system. Do you think it was more pressure this budget go around to put more money towards that?
I don't know that we had a lot of pressure from the outside to put money. We had pressure on ourselves. You know, we want to serve the people that elected us. We want to meet the needs that are out there. And if you've ridden these county roads, you know that there are a lot of them that are in very poor condition. And so and that's been the problem for multiple years. There has not been enough money in the budget to address those issues. And so we're trying to overcome that, put enough money in that we can address the issues and we can improve those roads and make it better for all of our citizens.
On the budget, what should residents be aware of or be paying attention to in this year's budget?
Well, the main thing is we're maintaining services. You know, we've been increasing services, particularly I think we'll be a safer county in the future. We've increased our ability to attract and hire deputies. We've also increased our ability to attract and hire jailers. So the thing to look at in the future is we're going to have more officers on the streets responding to needs and things that happen in our county. We're going to have more capacity and ability to house prisoners that are being released now. You know, right now you have the worst of the worst that are in the jail, and almost everybody else is being released and have court dates set. Well, a lot of those now in the future will be kept. And you know, the only way to change behavior is if there's a price. And that's our goal, is to change behavior. We don't want to put people in jail, we just want their behavior to change.
Yeah. And I know you mentioned too not being able to kind of meet some of those requests. But other than that, what's one thing you wish you could have got done with this budget that you weren't able to?
I can't think of any. You know, my number one thing as an employee who started out at the sewer plant for the city of Lufkin and who went to college, made my way back to Lufkin and became city manager over time, city engineer. I always want to take care of the employee. I know how hard it is. I know how hard it is to struggle. And typically in local government, your pay is not that great. It's your benefits that attract people. It's the retirement, it's the medical, things like that that attract people. And so, but you know, that means a lot to the higher level employee, but the lower level employees, when they're living paycheck to paycheck, it's the amount of money they have in their pocket. And so I would really like to be able to meet those needs, and I think we're marginal on that right now.